prepared. And I'd like to ask everyone to mute their phone except for the speaker at this moment. Our speaker for tonight has been a Toastmaster for many years, and he's on the brink of being the Distinguished Toastmaster. And the title of his speech is Initiating a Project to Invigorate Esprit de Corps in District 77 Club Coaches. And another note on it, originally that project was presented as a high performance leadership project to be applied as credit to fulfill a Distinguished Toastmaster requirement. Unfortunately, following the completion of the project, it was discovered that the high performance project requirement was no longer in effect and could not be applied to Distinguished Toastmasters credit. So at this time, I present to you Wesley Hillstrom for tonight's prepared speech.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, over the past several years, District 77 has had problems in its clubs with member retention and growth. I believe there are at least two main reasons for that. One would be the switch from the legacy program to Pathways. The other would be the need to do Toastmasters meetings online. I had the privilege of being Club Quality Chair for District 77 for the 2021-22 season. And in that role, my primary responsibility was to bring in speakers to speak on different aspects of membership retention, membership growth, and any areas that would help coaches become more effective coaches. To aid in that process, what I did was all the replays that I could find, either on YouTube or at the District 77 website, I made my own notes of those, documented them, and sent them to the club coaches and club presidents. But I noticed that many new members especially are unfamiliar with Pathways, so I wrote up documentation on the selection and use of Pathways and sent them out to Toastmaster members. And again, many folks are unfamiliar with the roles. So I made some documentation on the different roles and sent them out to the members as well. But I still thought there was something missing. There was something missing in the coach training program. And what came to my mind was a sense of esprit de corps. My feeling is that if you could develop a sense of esprit de corps within the club coaches, that esprit de corps could be transmitted to the club members themselves. Now, how do you do that? A good way to do that, in my opinion, was to actively work toward distinguished club status. Why is that important? Why is it important to work toward distinguished club status? There are a number of reasons. One, if you're at distinguished club status, you have a good membership base. You have leaders that are trained, that are receiving training, and you have a pool of leadership potentially to draw from at the end of a Toastmasters year. Because if you have a sparse contingent of Toastmaster members, what happens is that your current leaders simply wind up with different roles for the next year. Becoming a distinguished club, you have an opportunity to really work together in a sense of camaraderie and a sense of accomplishment. And I think the coaches would be the key people to instill that in building issues in working toward achievement of educational goals, membership retention, and club progress. It's important also for the officers to attend summer and winter TLIs and to have monthly executive meetings for the betterment of their clubs. So the way that I went about trying to develop a sense of camaraderie within the coaching cadre was to come up with a high performance leadership program specifically designed to focus on the club coaching element. There are two types of teams that I had to enlist. I was very fortunate to enlist the help of a high performance guidance committee and a high performance action team. For the guidance committee, I was exceedingly privileged to have 5-time DTM and past international director Susie Proctor, and also DTM Tom Hageman. For the action team, I was privileged to have DTM Jessica Silhavy, and I believe multiple DTM Randy Cooper.
Not quite that multiple.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just once.
Okay. You have that air about you, Randy. I'm sorry. But anyway, to carry on, the guidance committee met 5 times. The action team met multiple times. We discussed a number of issues, action items that were covered. I did some research to find out which coaches were successful in bringing their clubs to distinguished club level in the years past. There weren't many. There were only 7. Of those 7, I emailed all those 7. I only got 3 responses, and I documented what worked for those coaches and sent them out to the club coaches and club presidents. Jessica came up with forms for club presidents to fill out with respect to their performance of their coaches, and forms for the coaches to find out how well their coaching was in line with the Distinguished Club program. Randy investigated the possibility of from the district leadership how the possibility of providing incentives for coaches. So I believe that it's important for coaches to build team spirit, that spirit is reflected in the clubs. And the way to do that is through distinguished club status. This concludes this element. The results will be covered in the final and another meeting. Mr. Toastmaster.
All right, thank you, Wes, for prepared speech. And let's take from that some esprit de corps. And being in Toastmasters, there is empirical evidence that we improve as leaders and communicators. And it helps us to meet life's challenges.
Very good, Maurice. That was the word of the day and the theme, life challenge.
Yes. So next on the agenda, we'll move into our table topics. And our table topics master for tonight will be Donovan O'Malley.
Thank you, Maurice. So tonight tonight's theme is life challenges. So in that case, I'll be asking y'all some empirical questions based off of the theme. So who I'm gonna ask for a volunteer and then I'll ask y'all a question. Who would like to go first? Okay, Ms. Hall. Your question is, in your own words, what does life mean?
You're on mute, Miss Tamara. Or Tamara, sorry.
Was the question
In
in
your
my own words? What does life mean?
correct.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Table Topic Masters. What does life mean? It means a journey to help and serve, but it's definitely a journey. And life means to me opportunity. Thank you, Table Topic. That's
Thank
the
you,
best I could do on that one.
thank you, Ms. Hall. Who would like to go next?
I'll take the next one, Donovan.
Okay, Ms. Portal. Your question is, in your own words, what does challenges mean?
Who did you give the question to, Donovan?
Ms. Proctor.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you were asking that of Olivia. So a challenge, what do I think a challenge is? A challenge is an opportunity, Donovan. We get to mix things up. We can try something and we can be challenged to make it better or do it over or whatever we want to do with it. I like challenge. Challenge gives me an opportunity to grow stronger, farther, better than what I ever anticipated, having not taken any action at all or having any challenge. We're given a lot of things to do and we can do them, but we just do them by rote. And so there is no challenge. But when we're given an opportunity for a challenge, like the one that Wes took on as the club coach chair, that's a challenge. Man, did he grow? Did he stretch? I think we all did in his journey. And I was really proud to be part of that. Challenge is something I look forward to. Challenge is what makes my world go around. I embrace challenge. I anticipate challenge. And I hope that you all learn not to fear it and look at it as a friend and something that will just help you in every part of your life. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you for your empirical answer to that question, Ms. Proctor.
Empirical, yes.
So who would like to answer the next question?
I'll take it, Donovan. Oh, Maurice, I see your hand. I think I saw your hand when it went down. Go ahead, you can have it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do Wes, then Maurice, then Olivia.
Okay.
Because all of y'all raise your hands. So, Wes, your question is, what is one challenge you faced this week?
It's funny you should ask that. The challenge that I faced this week was putting together my presentation because I haven't given a Toastmaster speech in months. And on top of everything else, not to offer any excuses or anything like that, but normally when I give a speech, I like to have the privilege of having a hard copy of it, maybe several hard copies of it. I could not do one hard copy because I got to figure out how to get my printer to work. So the challenge this week was definitely in putting together this presentation, but it wasn't all that bad, not at all. I simply drew from the speech that I had for my HPL project and added some things together to strengthen what I had already said, to come up with an empirical basis for a good presentation. So it worked out quite well, Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you, Russ. Maurice, your question is, what strategies would you suggest to someone to overcome challenges?
Okay, Mr. Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. What would I suggest for someone to help them overcome challenges? I guess a basic theme to help a person overcome challenges, whatever that challenge may be, whether it's physical, mental, financial, is to take baby steps. If you can't take a full step, take a baby step. And as the financial advisor, Dave Ramsey, always says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So one step at a time, one baby step at a time, or one full step at a time, or one bite at a time, step by step, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter. Just put in the effort. If you just sit still and don't put in the effort, you're not going to move forward. So that is my suggestion to someone on how to overcome any challenges. Well, the philosophical method for someone to overcome a challenge. Back to you, Topics Master.
Thank you, Maurice. Olivia, your question is, how does life challenges affect you as a Toastmaster?
How does life challenges affect me as a Toastmaster?
Correct.
The answer that I will provide for that is definitely one that is empirical. It's empirical because Toastmaster is something that I do voluntarily. It's something that I do as a means or a method to improve myself, to enhance my skills, to maintain what I have learned. But it's done in addition to all of the other responsibilities and roles that I play. I'm active in quite a few different arenas. So, and plus I am a full-time employee, and it can be a challenge trying to juggle so much at one time. For example, Mondays is Toastmasters, Tuesdays is Spanish lessons, Friday nights is I teach a Bible class, Saturdays I go to church. I try to fit in 3 days of working out, preparing my meals, doing all of my shopping on Sundays, laundry, housekeeping, and then to add Toastmasters to it can be a challenge. However, it is a labor of love. I enjoy Toastmasters. I enjoy everything that it embodies. And I have empirical evidence that it can be life-changing. And it puts you around a specific unique group of people. And I'm just happy to be in the midst. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Olivia. How are we on time? Can I do more or no? Okay.
One more. Yeah.
Ms. Jones, your question is, what does copy DM mean to you?
I'm sorry, what does
Carpe diem mean to you?
Carpe diem, seize the day. Carpe diem.
seize the day? What does that mean to me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Donovan. Table Topics Master Donovan. What does it mean to me to seize the day? Morning after morning when I wake up, one of the first things that I always want to do is to give thanks for the day. But then I'm also asking, what is it that I should do through the day and accomplished during the day? So at the end of the day, I have fulfilled my purpose for that day. To seize the day for me is to fulfill a purpose, whether it's for me personally, for the person next door, for my granddaughter, even Toastmasters. I'm the kind of person that I love to plan. I take time to do a to-do list. Normally I would do it the night before. I leave it on my laptop. So when I rise early in the morning, I'm already abreast or aware. Then also I have to put space in there for incidentals and still work those things in. So for me, seizing the day would be making sure that the day has been balanced, that I've accomplished some personal goals. I've accomplished, God knows, some Toastmasters goal in this role, the club growth director, that's every day. Some family goals, and then making sure that I've balanced it out, taking care of my dog, Boston, very important to me, and giving of myself to my family. Seizing the day is accomplishing those goals, balancing it out, so I have that fulfillment, and at the end of the day, I can lie down knowing that I have accomplished what the day was meant for me. Table Topics, Master Donovan.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. So overall, I thought these all y'all's answers, all y'all's empirical answers to these questions was very spot on. Thank you. Now I'm going to relinquish the lectern back to the Toastmaster for the evening.
All right, thank you, Donovan. Now at this time, we'll go into our last portion or the third portion of our meeting, which is the evaluation period. And our general evaluator for tonight will be Olivia.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Maurice. Good evening again, everyone. We have made it to the final stage or the final portion of our meeting, which is the evaluation portion. I am your general evaluator. I will give my evaluation after my team has given their reports. So first up, since we had a prepared speech, I would like to call on our speech evaluator, and I think that's you, Mr. Cooper. Am I correct? You're on mute.
Thank you for this opportunity for this evaluation. Glad to hear about this project. I'd work with it. There are some things I saw strong about the speech. There are some things I think I'd like to give for points of improvement. Of course, he had no notes, which I think is always a strong thing. I didn't see you looking at notes. I think that was a very strong thing. Don't want to be discouraging for any new Toastmasters, because if you do need to use notes, then so be it. I don't have a problem with that. But that was great. Your eye contact was very, very good. I think that was one of your strongest points that I could tell you looked at the camera. You do a better job than I do with this. So I could see you. I had no problems with it. Good vocal rate. Your rate was easy to follow, not too fast, not too slow. Generally, I think it's a good rate to follow. Some things I like to see on the opening, you jumped in, but I'd like to see something like, there's some thing, here's an example. There's some things I see in our district that I have a vision on, or there were two things. What are these two things? Instead of just jump into it. What are these two things? Pause, and then let the audience think about it and then go into it. And then I think it'd been easy to remember. Something like that. Grab the audience's attention. Give a chance to pause. I also would like to get the audience curious and say, okay, well, I'm going to talk about this at the next speech. Say, I got something I'd like to share with you. Stay tuned and let's find out what I'm going to talk about at the next speech. Something to grab the attention, to entice. The opening and closing, I'd like to see a little bit more enticing, grabbing attention. I think part of the thing was, and you said something about not having a hard copy, and that might have thrown you off, because I think some things seemed a bit scattered in the speech, and I didn't seem to be focused on the particular vision or plan. We talked about this problem, that problem, just guidance committee, that committee, these people helping here. Instead of focusing on the particular vision plan, there might have been so much material, but the priority is to stick with the objectives to me and make sure to work on primarily the objectives and flesh them out. And if you have time for extra stuff, so be it. But there was so much material that I would say stick on that first. But to challenge yourself, again, work on the opening and closing, and to entice the audience, grab the curiosity. And to make sure, first and foremost, when you do a speech, that you hit the objectives, make sure the plan and the vision are covered. And if you want to say, I'm going to talk about this and this, maybe say, I'm going to cover this and this. And in the beginning, paragraph 1 said, first point, I'm covering this. Point 2, I'm covering this. Point 3, I'm covering this. That's the way I do speeches, to make it clear when I'm going to a point. But overall, there were some really good things, like say, no notes, great eye contact, great vocal rate. Look forward to hearing the next speech. Thank you.
Okay, did Olivia drop from the? It looks like she dropped. So we'll continue on. Oh, okay, she's back, I think.
I apologize. Yeah, I don't quite know what happened. It seems like I lost connection. I don't know. Sorry about that, Mr. Cooper. I think you've completed your evaluation. Thank you very much. And from there, I would like to call on, let's see, let's go to our timer. Susie Proctor, that's you.
Okay, so I would still have timing for the grammarian and the general evaluator, but you want the timing
you
report
timed those?
now?
No, you could. No, we don't typically time those, but that's okay. That's perfectly
Oh,
fine. No problem.
Okay.
No, I can come back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, Maurice, if you would give us the all counters and the word of the day, as well as the grammarian's reports.
All right, thank you, Olivia. For the all counters report, I don't really remember hearing too many filler words. Just a note on Wes's speech, there were just a few times where he started a sentence, stopped abruptly, and started again. So that was what I saw during Wes's speech. As the grammarian's report, I don't remember seeing misuse of English language. And then the word of the day, empirical. And it was myself, Donovan a few times, Susie, Wes, Olivia. And if there's anyone else who used the word, let me know now. Okay, otherwise, that is the all counters and grammarians report. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. Susie, can I call on you now for your, please, for your timers report? Thank you.
Yes, the timer's empirical report.
I love it.
Our speaker tonight spoke for 7 minutes and 39 seconds. Our table topic speakers, Tamara, 25 seconds. Olivia, 1 minute, 54 seconds. Myself, 1 minute, 13 seconds. Wes, 1 minute, 22 seconds. Maurice, 1 minute, 39 seconds. And Gloria, 1 minute, 49 seconds. Our speech evaluator spoke for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Our grammarian counter spoke for 55 seconds. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Ms. Proctor. First, I would like to say that as always, we seem to pull it together and have a very successful meeting. We did start a bit late. I noticed that we were still trying to get our roles covered. Pardon my tardiness. I thought I wasn't going to make it at all, but I am glad that I was able to be a part of class tonight. I'm sorry, of the meeting tonight. I'm sorry, Wes, I enjoyed your speech. One thing no one can ever assume is how you feel about Toastmasters, your passions, and most importantly, the importance of becoming or maintaining a distinguished club status. Every time I listen to you speak about it, I get reinvigorated, excited, and just so you definitely are doing a great role, and we thank you for your continued passion for Toastmasters. I was real impressed with the use of the word of the day, empirical. You did a great job. Donovan, your speech was your questions for the table topics portion was very great. And it's sometimes those are those hard questions that we have to ask and answer that really makes us think, what does life mean to you? What is a challenge? How do you face these challenges? How do you fit everything into your life? You know, and your day-to-day struggles and things that we have to accomplish. Carpe diem, how do you seize the moment? What does that look like for you? Those were some very thought-provoking, stimulating questions, and I thank you for those. And I'm so excited to see so many visitors, previous guests, and I'm just glad to see so many of you. And thank you for coming by little old Hilltopper Toastmaster and being a part of our club tonight. That is it for my general evaluation. Back to you, Toastmaster Maurice.
All right, thank you, Olivia. I don't think there's any awards tonight or educational overview. So what we'll do at this time, I don't think there is any pressing club business at the moment. And it is 7:36, so we're making good time overall. And I would also like to thank the guests for appearing tonight in our meeting. And at this time, for those Hilltoppers who are here, would anyone like to take a role for next week? Okay.
There's a few people with their hand raised, Maurice.
Okay, 2 participants hand raised. Let me scroll. Okay, I see Wes and I think someone else raised their hand. Well, okay, go ahead, Wes. Unmute. Uh-oh. Yes.
Yes, I'd like to give that second presentation, the second and final presentation next week. And
US, and I think David has already made a speech request for next week. So you're good, Wes, but if everyone else wants to do a prepared speech, they're both filled at this time.
I
And-
had my hand raised, Maurice, not to sign up for a role, but I just wanted to know if I could take a minute and speak to Wes's contribution to District 77 this last year.
Yes,
Is that okay? Okay.
yes.
I've I've been in Toastmasters 27 years, and I've seen every kind of high performance leadership project that you can imagine. And in my home district in Washington State, our club, every member of our home club, my home club, did a high performance leadership project every year. Every year we set the standard, and then the challenge was on, and all of the clubs were participating in that. But in saying that, I can honestly tell you, I've never seen anybody as committed to a project like Wes Hillstrom. And I really did not want to get involved in another project. I really, really didn't. But it was really hard to say no to somebody with so much passion in his project, and the determination and the dedication. And we all got his emails. We know how he does his follow-up reports and everything. I have talked to him or talked about him to other districts, and not really behind his back, but about each one of your contributions, really. This Hilltoppers supporting him through this whole endeavor. What a footprint for somebody to follow, something to follow. Other districts could learn a lot from this whole project that you've taken on. And it's not that we got the success that we wanted. But we did have successes along the way. We did. And we may not have achieved everything that we wanted, but I think your district is much stronger because of this core group of people. Every one of you. Randy, I never worked with you. I've only met you casually a couple of times. However, I just want you to know that you have the strongest impact on the leaders who participated in this endeavor of Wes's. And I want to thank you personally for that. I mean, Toastmasters should thank each one of you. Gloria, Olivia, Tamara, Donovan, you always showed up. You were always there, always a contributor. That says a lot about the caliber of the people in Hilltoppers. It's a big project. You bit the apple and you swallowed the whole thing. And I couldn't be more proud of you. And I just wanted you to hear it from me. I hope other people will tell you that, because I know you're talked about. The district gave me a shining star for the work I did in the district. But if I could cut it up into pieces and give you each a fragment of that shining star, you all deserve it. You all deserve it. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
All right, thank you, Susie. All right, it is 7:41. And again, good speech, Wes. And I look forward to what you will present next week. Okay, I see 2 more hands. Olivia and Wes.
Mine is real simple. I just wanted to say, let me take my hand down, that I did reserve our space for our next 2 hybrid meetings for November and December. So we have November at 6:30, I think it's the 14th. And December, the second Monday is the 12th at 6:30. So the 14th and the 12th, we are good to go for our hybrid meetings.
All right, thank you, Olivia. Okay, Wes.
I deeply appreciate Susie's comments. I deeply appreciate the comments in the chat. And I will continue to do my best in whatever endeavor I'm involved in. But I think you're all at top of the line. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your lives.
All right. Thank you, Wes.